All right, and welcome back to the Real God number 444 Real
Yay.
Podcast. I'm with my co-host Morgana. You want to say something to the people?
What's up, everybody? So happy to be back with you guys today. Yay.
Yes, yes. No, so we want to continuously talk about how we serve a real God that desires to intervene in our real problems because we're real
Mhm.
people, right?
Yes.
Today, we really just wanted to kind of catch up and talk through, hey, what does it look like to pray well? How important is it? Even, and we may get to a hot take on it. Hey, what does it look like at times to allow the Spirit to lead you in praying in tongues? Right? It's a
Mm.
controversial subject with denominations, but it is a thing that is spoken about in the Scriptures. So we want to speak the Scriptures. We want to be as contextually sound as we can be at times. But yeah,
Yeah.
so more for you, what do you feel like has been like an impactful moment for you in which you know prayer has like been a catalyst or pushed you forward?
Oh, man. It's so interesting that you asked me about this because I was recently, I have like a journal that I specifically write to the Lord, just about what's going on in my life, things that I'm praying to Him about, my way of just having a conversation with Him and just sharing
Yeah.
him with Him what's on my heart. And one of the big prayers last year was, it might seem small, but it was about losing weight and, having a healthier lifestyle, right? And
You've been
so,
killing it.
yeah, yeah, I'm trying. But fast forward to the same month, I went back this past week and I looked through my journal and I realized that the same month that we're currently in, I was asking the Lord last year in March for me to be able to lose weight and help me with my health journey. And
Mhm.
it's funny how God answers prayers
Yeah.
because he allowed me to get a job at FedEx, and it
Hey.
basically consists of using a lot of body work. And with that being
Mhm.
said, I just want to let y'all know that my Lord and Savior has helped me lose
Mm.
34 pounds since last year.
Come
Okay.
on, come on. She ain't
Okay.
playing no game. She ain't playing no game. I'm trying to be like her when I grow up, y'all.
No, and look, no,
No.
no, no, no. But
Oh.
seriously, just with that, it's small stuff, but he even
Mhm.
listens to the small things that we ask for. So I have seen
Mhm.
God move in such a mighty way.
Yeah.
And, having my health in shape is very important because I was going downhill. A lot of health issues were beginning to come up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, man, if I'm wanting to really be out here traveling, doing the Lord's work, I need to be in shape. I legit need to be in shape. And to be in
Mhm.
shape to fight the spiritual warfare as well, honey, because you can't
Yep.
be overweight, then thinking that you can sit up here and be fighting these spirits out here with Jesus. No,
Yeah.
no. You need to be in shape. You need to be in shape.
Wear you
Have
out.
your
You
mind
get tired.
right. Get some. Yeah. So, anyways, there's of course more that we'll get
Yeah.
into, but just to start out with, that has been one of the big things that has happened already in my life that I've seen a big change in. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you own it. Like the way I think of it is when people always say don't pray for patience because you're not gonna get it just given to you and endowed, and now you're the paragon of patience. No, you're gonna get tempted by some very
Right.
nervous people to get on your last everlasting nerves to test your patience, and then finally I realize why am I so angry? Because the Lord's growing your patience through people, right,
Right.
or experience.
Right.
Yeah, so when you talk about FedEx, you're like, I'm just thinking, all right, Lord, you just gonna let me take a nap, and then we're gonna be done. We ain't gotta use the Planet Fitness membership. You're like, no, no, no. He's like, let me
Right.
get you a FedEx. Yeah, gonna be so okay.
So
Took you
my
a while. It's gonna take you a while to take off.
Right. And how my boss puts it, so you're actually getting paid to lose weight. So, and I said, you
Yo,
know what? That I never thought about it that way, but yes, I am getting paid to lose weight right now.
Like, you
Yeah.
need to make a business out of this and write him a check. But
Yeah,
no,
right,
you,
right.
you
Seriously.
own but
So,
no, for
yes.
me, when it's come to prayer, the things I've thought about is like prayer is something that I've learned when I'm not doing it consistently, it always shows, right? When I'm doing
Yes.
it consistently, it's very rare that my mood or my temperament is affected by things that should affect my temperament. It's almost as if, like, if I'm thinking about lifting weights, every time I've done well with my weight, with my muscle mass, those kind of things, it's been because I done at least done 6 weeks of just being consistent in the weight room. You feel
Mm,
better, your energy level is better. Usually drink more or less coffee. I think sometimes it's the same with prayer. Like I never have confusion on where I'm going in my
yeah.
experience. I've consistently been talking to the Lord more than one time a day. And I
Yes.
think me, where I saw that the clearest was during the biggest transition in me and my wife's life. And that was when we moved up here to North Carolina. Like, we
Right.
made a decision to move. I think we found out about the position in August. We came up here, I think, once for an interview. The second time was for a meet and greet. The elders had already decided they wanted to go with us. Um, and the meet and greet was more to meet the folks. But really, we had decided to sell our house, hire a moving company, transition from my full time job, and find a place to live in less than a 6 week period. Might have been more like 4.
Wow.
Now I think about it, because we didn't know for sure about the job. Yeah, because I applied mid August. I don't think we
Mm,
knew for sure about the job to the end of August, and we were moved up here by mid October. Um, and there, in my head, now my wife might have been different. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all on the pod. She might have felt different, but in my head, it was, oh yeah, man, the Lord's behind this. Yeah, we sold a house in
mm,
3 weeks in a market that's 50-50 at the time. It's worse now, but it was definitely 50-50 at the time. It's for our first house. We found an apartment, no problem. We found a mover, no problem. My job lets me work part time so that we can keep, the bills at bay. There's really nothing that's gone wrong, both between my council of mentors and my family and the selling of the house, for me to think, the Lord isn't behind it. But also, there was some tough conversations at the time, and I wasn't even
yeah.
stressed about them. I just was like, man, look, love you, understand where you're at. Lord's behind this, man. So not leaving you, but gotta go where he's sending me. Well, I
Yeah.
didn't realize I was moving so quick at the time that by the time we got on the road, my wife was like, "This is just a lie." I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. And connected to the vine. I didn't. I thought we was. My bad. That's this. We are moving. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was
Right.
already thinking
Right.
we're gonna do it. Got to be to church tomorrow. My bad. That's on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I realized is why, looking back, I should have been stressed.
Mm,
Oh, it's like no. The Lord had ordained steps, and I didn't have to even worry about being ahead of him. I could hear him
mhm,
mid motion saying something. Be like,
mhm.
yeah, yeah, so can you decide today? No, no, I'm gonna talk to my elders first. And then after that, yeah, I'll let you. Can I hit you up on Wednesday? Lord, like, good job. Don't just get him a yes now. You need to pause. Just do things in order.
Wow.
Yeah, okay,
Wow.
right. This is even before talking with Eric about it. I'm like, oh, usually I would just say, yeah, let's do it. Like, no, 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 no. Run this by your mentors. That's good that they offered you the position, but run it by your mentors first. But I think the only reason that much transition wasn't that stressful is because of prayer. Like, at the time frame,
Yeah.
both me and my wife had prayed and we had fasted about, hey Lord, let's put our yes on the table. You know, yes, it'll be a pay cut. Yes, we might have to move. But you know what? Lord, if we gonna trust you in the big things, we need to trust you in the small things, and vice versa. And so for me, it was like, man, yeah, there's no way we could have made that many decisions. Literally, our kids weren't even 6 months yet. and my dad was still
Wow.
living. There was no way we could have made that decision without the Lord being like, "Hey, hey, let me steady your hand."
Right.
Right?
Hold up.
Right? So, but no. So for you though, Morgana, we'll switch notes a little bit. What do you feel like are some of the negative impacts of when we're not connected to the vine in prayer? What's the
Oh
negative?
man. Confusion. First off, let's just go ahead and say that's the number one for me. I feel
Yep.
like I'm very scatterbrained a lot.
Mhm.
Um, I start to focus on the mountain and not
Yep.
how God can get me through the struggle or not leaning into Him. Um, I feel like I'm not that close with the Lord.
Yep.
I just feel like I've gotten off track in general in my relationship with the Lord in general. It's really having a relationship with somebody. Like if you don't talk to them for a while, they're going to be
Yep.
confused. You're going to be confused. You're going to be like, okay, they don't like me. There's a lot of negativity going in your brain about
Yep.
that relationship. You start to question if they love you, if they want to be with you, if you're safe with them, like all of that. And so
Mhm.
not having that time with the Lord, man, it is vital to
Yep.
have quiet time with God every day. Every
Yep.
day. Don't skip a beat. I tell my friends all the time, skip a day, see what happens. Skip a day.
Mm.
Go ahead, skip a day, girl. Skip one. I want you to do it. Do it.
Please,
You
please,
know.
please.
I wish you would, girl. Do no. But
Mhm.
seriously, and you see, I mean, just this year alone, I dedicated every day like a different devotional book for me to read.
Come
And it's all
on. We trying
based
to get
off
like
of what
Morgana.
you said. What now?
We trying to get like Morgana when we grow up. Not a
No,
book a
no,
day.
no.
Cool.
No, no,
That's my.
no. But but I think that's also the ADD that kicks in me as well. Like I need something active
Mhm.
and different every day for me to stay focused. And so I
Yep.
was like, well, if there's certain departments that I'm trying to work on in my life, then I
Yep.
probably need to dedicate a day for those issues for me to
Yep.
sit down and talk to God about them and be
Mhm.
intentional about it. So there's a day of healing. I have a devotion for healing. There's a day of praying for other people. I have that day to pray for other people. I have a list of people I pray for. There's a
Mhm.
day of just spending time literally talking to God by myself,
Mhm.
journaling,
Mhm.
and I'll be honest, just for the single people, there's a day that I pray for my husband. I think that should be an everyday thing, but
Okay,
just
girl.
because
Yeah.
I'm trying to incorporate it in my life, I'm still learning. But there's that day as well. There is the day of resting in Him. I have a devotion that speaks about resting in Him, and so.
Yep.
But every day I'm talking to Him, I'm praying to Him, and
Mhm.
it has made not just a difference in my life, but I'm starting to see the difference in my friends life as well, my friends and my family members that I pray for. I'm like, ooh, okay, okay, they're doing
Mhm.
better. Okay, I see how God's changing that. All right, I see how they're learning lessons just like I'm learning lessons in my day to day. So that's what it looks like.
Yep.
If without prayer, I feel like my life is definitely chaotic.
Mhm. And you even talked about you went up on it what it looks like with prayer, and you're saying
Mm,
without prayer there's a lack in your life, a
mhm.
clear of um, both spiritual fortitude and probably even mental fortitude because you're
Yeah.
not spending with him. And I would even say, and I only say that for me, but personally, my friends and myself, I would say, hey, others can tell after a while they've lived life with you if you are not connected to the vine in prayer. I just believe others can tell because it sets the tone for the day. One of the things I would tell both my mentees and my students in the past would be, hey, you become who you surround yourself with. So
Mm,
if you're going to surround yourself with things that are not of God, you're going to eventually become more not like Christ, because what you feed grows and what you starve dies. Right?
Mm.
If we're
Come on.
growing our faith every day, we have to starve that sin nature in us.
Yes.
And the best way we can do that is be connected to the person that the sin can't even touch. Right? Like
Come on.
one of the one of the
Preach.
scriptures I love, I can't fool with Morgana because she always get me going.
Just
One of
telling
the
the truth.
scriptures I love
If you
is
preaching, brother, I'm gonna tell you you're preaching. Period.
I can't. But no, one of the scriptures we probably grew up with is Second Corinthians. Yeah, it's 10:5. And it's talking about taking down every stronghold that puts
Mm.
itself on God. And it's kind of literally saying, hey, we don't battle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and
Yes.
numbers. I think that's there as well. Right. Let me not lie. Let me look at it real quick. There we go. There we go. There we
I
go.
think
Yeah.
the
We
one that fighting against flesh and blood, that's uh Ephesians chapter 6, 10 through 18. The only
I
reason why I
knew it.
know that is because I say that verse every night before I go to bed.
I understand, yeah. I
Because I'm not
understand.
playing. But I know, but no, you're right. I think there's something I do know there's something in Romans that's similar to that. Because sometimes they do a lot of scripture, a lot of repetitive
Mm,
verses. And
I know what it was. It's 10:3 is the flesh part. And it's
okay.
for though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh.
Yeah, there we
They
go.
all
Okay.
low. Because Paul wrote a lot of them. And it says,
Yeah,
for the weapons of our warfare are not flesh, but are divine power by the destroying of
there we
strongholds.
go.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. But what I love about when he talks about that is he's helping us understand that a lot of our battles that we face are mental before they're physical. They're spiritual before they're actually visible in front of us. And
Mm,
conference, if we're not battling with prayer in the spirit first, we're not prepared for when it manifests itself physically. And
mm.
I know Baptist people, I love y'all. Y'all know y'all gonna be a little upset with me, but most of y'all already knew I'm Baptist-costal at best anyway. But why say that? They know it. I said it plenty of times. They're not gonna be hurt. They're gonna be like, Shaw did kind of tell us. We can't really be upset.
Right.
He said that from a stage a few times.
Right.
But why
Yes.
I say that is because if we can understand how much spiritual things are happening around us and not blaming the devil for everything, that's the other side of the pendulum. Where we're like, yeah, the devil, the reason my lights cut off. He ain't gonna have it
Right.
today, not today, Satan. And no, the reason your lights are off is because you didn't pay the bill
It'll be
and
okay.
you're 3 months late. It's how it works. It's
You
not the
did not
devil.
budget
It's
right, boo boo.
but it's right. You didn't do the Dave Ramsey, and now we need you to lock in, right? But sometimes it
Right.
is a spiritual battle when it's thing upon thing upon thing compiling, and you're spending time with the Lord. It's almost like that Job experience in that Job one, where Job literally gets one bit of bad news and another bit of bad news and another bit of bad news. If you look at the story, the reason that happened is because the Lord told Satan, "Hey, I'll remove what you call a hedge around him, but you can't kill him." Right?
Mm,
Meaning,
mm,
the whole what the Lord was trying to help us to understand, I believe, through the scriptures is hey, I'll let you bring suffering to him in my will, but I won't let you change my will for him past the
mm,
suffering. And I think a lot of
mm,
not able to spend time in prayer and actually
mhm,
spend time in the word and learn about God's character for ourselves. We don't have what I like to say relationship capital, be able to know, hey, there's got to be something I'm missing. Let me trust in him. That's the faith piece.
mhm.
Like our faith is always going to be tempered if we're not able to spend time with the Lord and hear from him. That's just my
Yeah.
personal belief and what I've
Yeah.
seen in the scriptures. And I think that's the thing that we're running in danger with, because we're all human, we're all broken. If we're not learning to pull from the right source, we won't actually be able to walk in our purpose well. I feel like personally, and so a lot
And
of times, like, yeah, go jump in there, jump in there. What you got?
no, I was gonna say, and the interesting thing about this is that you always caught Job talking to God. Even when all that was happening, what was he doing? He was still coming back, even though he was upset, sad, depressed, whatever the case was, he was still talking to God. He was still praying to God. Hey, God,
Mm-hmm.
what's really going on? So, once
I was
again,
saying, Job's like, hey, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. He's like, I done spent enough time with the Lord to know, yeah, I'm gonna just wait and see how this plays out. Now, if you keep
mhm,
reading the book, it skips a little bit, but it takes him a while. Yeah, yeah, you on it,
yeah,
you on it.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, it was a lot of questioning happening for him during
Mm-hmm.
that time to the Lord. So
Yep.
there's been times, I mean, yesterday, every week, I'm gonna be honest with you, every week, I'm
There we
talking
go.
to the
Testimony.
Lord like, what's really going on?
Uh
Huh?
huh.
I talk to my Lord and Savior and I ask
Mm-hmm.
questions all the time. And he is so nice because he could have just slapped me upside the head and went on and took me out. But grace, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Grace and mercy has
There we
taken
go.
place. And that's why he sent his son on the cross for crazy people like me that got too many questions.
No, it's all crazy. I mean, if you ain't asking questions, I don't think you doing it right. Jesus
Right.
asked the question.
Yeah.
So for me, if he asked, "Hey God, let's just level set for a minute," I'm starting to feel the weight of this sin a little bit.
Right.
I know what I came here to do, but if there's a loophole, it's time for us to pull that loophole. It might be too much. All right, it might be just a little too much, and I'll do it for you. But Peter, I don't know about Peter.
But see,
Judas, he looked at me and still left. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with you. Like, I think for me, what I'm learning daily is our walk is a choice. Um,
mm,
we got to choose daily. Hey, I'm gonna either try to figure this out on my own, which is that
mhm,
route without, or I'm gonna connect to the source. Like I was listening to something, I was reading this in my devotional I'm doing right now. I I don't really care. I'll say who the artist is because I feel think he's a man of God and it is what it is. By Tony Evans, and
mm.
so
Yeah.
um,
Love 'em.
solid man.
Yeah.
I still respect,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
talking about how he used an analogy or illustration, that's the word, about how like a toaster or appliance can't fulfill its like doesn't power up without being plugged in.
Mm,
And then he continues to explain, hey, when it's plugged in, it's moving optimally, it's functioning the way it's meant to function. But if it's never actually plugged in, it can't function. And so what he was helping me to understand in his analogy is hey, without being plugged in, we actually into the source that's God, we actually can't fulfill the purpose. And
mm,
sometimes when we look and we're like, man, I'm just not burning on all cylinders, but I'm still doing good work. I think sometimes the Lord will honor that, but we
mhm,
aren't going to be able to do the actual assigned work well until we consistently plug into that source that is Him. And like, I just
mm,
appreciate reminder, oh, that's probably where the pride sticks in. If you're not careful, you get enough wins, whether it's in life, ministry, business, and you think it's you, and you forget, no. You're just the vessel the Lord's using, and that's just the platform. Are you using the platform for the actual purpose to have that conversation to bring somebody from
yeah,
death to life?
yeah,
If you're not,
yeah.
then hey, kind of like Job say, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away.
Take it away.
Don't get caught up in that taketh away section because you're not plugged in. And he told you to leave that job a long time ago, or whatever that may be. So it
He
was it
will
was it was.
subtract. He will subtract in a minute, and I'll even share, and I think I've shared this on the pod before, just what I've gone through in the past. I had my Job season too. My
Yeah.
apartment was taken, my job was first taken away from me, then my apartment, then my car. And I felt like everything that was in my mind, my identity was taken away from me. That I could
Mm-hmm.
say, yes, I have a degree. I work here. I live over here. My car is this. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that I did that. I thought I got the job. I thought I got the apartment. I thought I got the car. And God was like, you didn't get anything.
None of it.
I gave you all that, baby. You have
Mm,
been covered by the power and the blood of Jesus Christ this entire time.
yep,
Okay,
yep,
so do not get it twisted. So I'm
yep.
going to give it all back to you. But when I
Oh,
do give it to you,
mm,
know who
mm,
gave it to you. Me,
my,
the
my.
Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the
I'm,
everlasting God. Huh?
uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
The name above all names. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay,
Oh my,
so I said,
I'm with
okay,
you.
God. Hey. So now when the wait was God, the car
Mhm.
outside, God, this apartment, God, my job, God.
Yeah.
Everything in my life is God. I can't
Okay.
give it to nobody else but him. I refuse to take the glory. Give it all to him because he'll take it
Mm.
away now and show you again. You need me to show you again? You need some help? No, I don't. I'm good.
You
It's
got
you,
me about
God.
to go behind us and say, "Show you right," but that's before us. That's before us. No,
Right.
I think you're right. And actually, this gonna work out perfect because I think we're gonna break this up. But I think what I remember with you talking about this is when I was in college, not masters, but undergrad, there was a point where I had no more tuition for school.
Mm.
Approve me for any more student loans. I was like, what do you mean?
Right.
That's the system. That's the wheel. You're supposed
Right.
to fish. You're saying I can't even. Okay, that's new. I got all the way to the dorms. Found out I wouldn't get approved for financial aid for any student loans. I had no housing.
Wow.
No housing. Find this out while moving my stuff in by myself. Put my stuff back in my car, go to the housing office. They're like, yeah, you got to talk to financial aid. Go to financial aid. Yeah, you don't have any financial aid. Yeah. I said, oh, okay. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So you got it. You good with your class? Got to find somewhere to stay. I said, oh, all right. Cool. And so it transitioned from that season. I drove all the way back from Beaufort, South Carolina, back to Charleston, about an hour and a half. Went back to my little part time job at a Moe's. Figured out how much, and still part of my tuition that I had to pay that year. Figured out how much my tuition was gonna be. I'm on like Zillow trying to find a randomized roommate. My job is waiting for me that's paying like $12 an hour at the time, which at that time, y'all younger
That's a lot.
kids making dollars an hour, getting on all our nerves. That was a
Right.
lot. Not $14 late, but I digress. I'm gonna come back. But all of this, I come back when school starts. I literally am like living in my car at the time. Shout out to
No.
Creative. I know what it is, but because I don't want to get him in no trouble. But my pastor found me a basically like a closet to sleep in for 5 6 days. Like I'm literally coming back,
Wow.
tears in my eyes on the road. Like Lord, I don't know what else to do. Like I gotta finish, right?
Mm.
And on the road, little Lord's like, hey, trust me, even in your broken seasons.
Mm.
All right, cool. Ended up where I got back. I was literally taking a shower, y'all, in the school's gym's locker room. We had just finished up a gym at the school. I'm sneaking in there early in the morning to cop a shower, go to class, go to work, go back to this closet. I
Yeah.
won't say where the closet was because the guy who gave me the closet, hey, appreciate you.
Shout outs
Sleeping on
to
the bench.
wow.
Right? Living off of a McDouble a day, basically, right? And
Oh,
so where I turn that is some of you guys who know me personally know a major transition happened last year, that yada yada yada. But the Lord checked me because even with that season, I wasn't thinking about what was going on that season in college. I wasn't thinking about what was going on. I wasn't thinking about how unfortunate this was. I think I heard random noises in the building that I was sleeping in the closet for lack of better terms. Just resting enough to get back up, do it again. Um, but
Mhm.
there was contentment in my heart because I knew the Lord was
Mhm.
with me, right? Because I was praying enough, I was connected to the vine enough to not even let that stress me.